Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, December 29. On this date in 1991, WCW held its Starrcade pay-per-view. In the main event, Sting won the 20-man, 2-ring Battle Bowl Battle Royal. On this date in 2003, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from San Antonio, Texas. In the main event, Triple H fought Shawn Michaels to a draw for the World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 1996, WCW held its Starrcade pay-per-view. In the main event, Roddy Piper defeated Hollywood Hogan. This has been Today in Wrestling History, December 29.
This is Jim the Anvil Neidhart of the Hart Foundation, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry on 1490 WBCB, baby. Yeah!
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Yeah, it is kind of around that time of year for Starrcade, isn't it? At least back in the old WCW days with a big boy of play, if you will. Yeah, no, I don't exactly have a great Dusty Rhodes voice either. What do you expect?
That's a good one.
I haven't slept since like Thursday night. I'm running on like fumes here. And you'll hear that in probably a few minutes here when we get to the creative juices that were flowing for this song parody. And Robert chiming in on the Facebook fan page, Fearon, a parody song done in the style of a parody song like Grandma Got Run Over? Really? Yeah, he gave me the Miz really on that. Also, John chiming in, looking back at 2012, he says, all in all, 2012 was a very up and down year. Mostly down, but if you want to be technical about it, or mostly down if you want to be technical about it, but in the end, a very solid year. Great shows on pay-per-view this year, including WrestleMania, and oddly enough, TLC was excellent as well. Still, you had the unfortunate incident involving Jerry Lawler, which had a great conclusion with Jerry returning ringside. Very true. You had lackluster returns with Jericho and Brock Lesnar, but above all, the one thing that remains unanimous is Cena sucks. Well said, John. A great year yet again from everyone at WBCB, Fearon, and Pro Wrestling Weekly, even though we lost Wild Bill Melody. Keep up the great work, everyone, and best wishes for a great 2013. I would have called in and said all this, but my dumb employer needs me, so I got to go now. Hoo-hoo, Robin. He's a big Stern fan, which I think pretty much said it all there with that. Mike also chiming in, what a year in wrestling it's been. Are we going to see The Rock become WWE champion one more time in 2013? Another Y2J coming? Like McMahon always said, anything can happen in the WWE. I say anything can happen in the wrestling world. Happy New Year to you, Fearon, as well as RC, who was supposed to join us today, but Mother Nature, she was a cruel temptress, and once he started slipping on the roads on the way over here, he decided to postpone. I think we'll have him in here next week for the look ahead at what to expect in 2013. Not too far away from the Royal Rumble, which is always my favorite event of the year, so we'll do some Royal Rumble rewinds and some look-backs over the course of January. Should be a fun year, to say the least. Mike also throwing in, looking forward to much more from you in the new year. Support to all of you always. And then he signs, of course, Fan Champ, because that's kind of his moniker on the Facebook. He also adds, can't wait to hear you sing LOL to do Honky Tonk Man style. No, Wayne Ferris is gonna think this is horrible. And the Honky Tonk Man definitely put out some not so good stuff here. I think. Is it Doug? I love the interactivity of this show. Doug chiming in, is it too late for Fearon to get run over by a reindeer? No, I think they've made their way back up to the North Pole, Doug. Thanks.
I got to hear this song. I got to hear this song now.
All right, we'll get to it in a minute. First, we got some news and notes here. The Hulkster wanting a new knee and apparently the TNA title for Christmas. Hogan shared his Christmas list with the Guardian website over in the UK. He said he needs only one more surgery. Quote, I've had 8 back surgeries. I've had knee replacements. I've had both hip replacements. I only need one more surgery to fix my right knee, and then I'm going to go for the TNA World title. I want to be 59 years old and be the champion.
Doesn't really say much for the TNA title, does it?
Well, how old was Vince McMahon when he won the World Wrestling Federation Championship back in '99? What was he, 50?
You can do that when you're the boss.
Yeah.
Well, Hogan's the general manager. He's kind of close to the boss. Would you rather see Hulk Hogan or Dixie Carter as your world champion?
If I get to look at Dixie Carter more often, I might watch TNA.
There it is. It took 50 minutes, but there's the obligatory sigh at Richie.
It's true.
That just the fail sigh.
She's
has
a
come
good-looking
out.
older woman. She is.
Not going anywhere down that road. Tribute to the troops. It trailed in the NBC ratings. The 1-hour version drew just a little over 1.3 million viewers for NBC, according to Zaptoit.com. The show drawing a 0.3 rating among 18 to 49-year-olds, which also tied for the lowest mark of the night of the 4 major networks. So, the tribute to the troops might be good for USA, not so much for NBC. The special did the lowest numbers of the night for NBC's primetime block, averaged the least number of viewers for any primetime show on Saturday.
I doubt they're going to put that on one of those did you know WWE facts when they come back.
No, I don't think so.
I doubt they're putting that on.
No, oddly enough, the Wednesday night airing of the 2-hour version drew almost twice as many viewers.
Because they had to watch twice as long.
Yeah, and did an 0.8 rating amongst the 18 to 49-year-olds, which is pretty much 2.5 times what NBC drew. So, I don't know. They may want to ixnay on the NBC way for...
Yeah, but that whole WWE week on USA, that's a neat concept. That whole WWE week where they had them on the sitcom shows that they have. Or maybe they're not considered sitcoms, but what are they considered? Like drama shows?
Joseph chiming in, Hogan needs a career replacement. Well, he tried that with the reality show. That didn't exactly work out either. It led to divorce and all kinds of other insanity.
Did his 60-inch pythons turn into 25.5-inch pythons? They don't look nearly as big as they used to be.
I mean, those are called garden snakes.
Yeah. Garden snakes. Oh, goodness. Also, Tommy Dreamer, he wrote a blog explaining how his appearance at the Slammies occurred. Literally, he got a call earlier that afternoon at home in New York and was asked to come down to Philly, and he was given hours to do this. He said the original call came in at 3:30 p.m. and Monday Night Raw was taking place 100 miles away from my house. That's challenging without even considering traffic. Jumped in the shower to get ready, finished, the cell phone rang, and was told to bring his wrestling gear but not to tell anyone. It had to be a surprise. When he got there, met his contact and went to hide on the bus with the other surprise for the night, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. When he found out Flair was on the bus with him internally, he was like, woo, as pretty much everybody would be, and acted cool when he saw his friend and fellow wrestling legend, and then WWE had him take a physical, sign a bunch of forms, releases, and contracts, and next thing you know, he's out there wrestling in that 6-man tag.
I got to say, the summer before this past summer, I know we got to get to our song, but I actually went to a Washington Nationals game against the Phillies in Washington, and we got to our seats, and it was my dad and a buddy of mine, and we got there, and who was sitting next to us but Tommy Dreamer? And we took pictures with him. He signed a couple of baseballs. He must have been. He was easily one of the nicest people I've ever met. And even when he was leaving in the 8th inning, and that's a major violation. You don't leave a baseball game in the 8th inning. But he's leaving in the 8th inning. We hadn't talked to him in 3 or 4 innings. He waved goodbye, said goodbye to us. Nice meet. He was the nicest guy. One of the nicest guys I've ever met.
I mean, on I think the 2 occasions that I've met Tommy Dreamer, he's been nothing but cordial, cool, nothing but a class
I'm happy
act.
to cheer for a guy like that.
Absolutely. And I'd be remiss, even though Doug just went ahead and totally ripped me, I'll go ahead and talk about what's going on with him and the folks over at George's Cards and Collectibles, because there's a lot going on over the next couple weeks as well as the next couple of months. In fact, next week, January 5th from 1 to 3 p.m., TNA's Robbie E. and Rob Terry, also known as Robbie T., will be in the New Falls location for pictures and autographs. And then just 2 weeks after that, a hurricane's coming through. That's right. Hurricane Helms will visit the New Falls George's Cards and Collectibles. That's January 19th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you're there during the noon to 1 hour, you can listen to me in the store. I'll have to double check with Doug if we're still in speaking terms by that point. Make sure that he's got us tuned in there in the store. And then Friday, March 1st, oh, this is a biggie, from 6 to 8 p.m., Barbie Blank, better known as Kelly Kelly.
That's what you got me for my birthday on March 1st?
She's so hot.
Oh, that's right.
That's what you got me on my birthday.
She will appear at George's Cards and Collectibles on New Falls Road.
You're the best friend I've ever had. Speaking of which, my girlfriend's listening. Hi, Heather. I'm sorry.
If I keep on doing a good job here, can you get me AJ Lee? Then, if you can get him Kelly.
Hey, I was here for over a year.
Okay, I will do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I will be here.
I didn't realize I had that kind of stroke. All right.
Stroke.
And we're just going to leave it at that. For tickets or more information, come on, this is important. For tickets or more information, you can give George's Cards and Collectibles a call at 215-943-2475, or you can visit georgescollectibles.com. Very important stuff. All right, we've got about 4 minutes left. Let's go ahead and get to it. It's not exactly my proudest moment, but I thought, what the heck, I'd have a little fun. It's the holidays. Based on everything that we saw over the course of the holiday week in wrestling, figured we have a little bit of a parody song. Go ahead and hit it. Santa got run over by Del Rio, yet he didn't have to face the law. Later he got beat up by John Cena, all part of a Christmas Monday Raw. A 12-man tag with 12 jabronis, and they all played lumberjacks, so the Big Show could fight Sheamus. A Brogue Kick put the Big Show on his back. Khali won a battle royal, featured on the main event. Now he's #1 contender. Cesaro wishes next week came and went. So to recap, Santa got run over by Del Rio. Saint Nick stretchered on a Christmas Eve. Vince has got a twisted sense of humor. No wonder many wrestling fans are peeved. Meanwhile, Thursday night on Impact, Styles and Daniels yet again. This time Kaz was dressed as AJ, continuing a feud that has no end. Bobby Roode and Austin Aries, they both want a title shot, but instead the crowd was laughing, and Hardy made them both look not so hot. Santa got run over by Del Rio. He came back and hit the Sacco Claw. Cena beat Del Rio up with presents. Stupid, silly Christmas Monday Raw. Santa got run over by Del Rio. Not the best behavior for a face. Still, it makes good wrestling talk show fodder. And you know Pro Wrestling Weekly is the place.
That deserves a Slammy in itself. You should get your own Slammy.
I should get my own Slammy for best song.
Best song of the year, Slammy, right here, Fearon. You have it. It's
Very
yours.
nicely done.
Like I said, it was more creative than it's low budget, so I couldn't exactly get high talented performing singers. All I could find was me. That was the best I could get at 6 o'clock this morning.
That wasn't Beyonce?
No, but
It sounded like Beyonce.
slightly more masculine than Beyonce.
All right, well, yeah, okay.
Only slightly.
Well, to your ears, all right.
All right. Well, Joseph chiming in on the Facebook fan page. He at least says it was well done.
It was well done.
Yeah,
Very nice job.
bleeping done. And Ron apparently missing the boat over the course of the last couple of months. He asked, "What happened to Bill Melody? Where have you been the last couple of months?" Bill Melody unfortunately passed away back on Halloween. Yeah, he. I know. Hate to end things on a sad note, but that's why we're not going to. Do we have time for another round of the song? No. It's probably better off that we don't. But thanks to everybody for listening. Looking forward to a great 2013.
Thank you for having me back, too.
Yeah,
Thank
Richie,
you very much.
You're more than welcome to come back. At least on my terms. The listeners may say otherwise.
I appreciate you having me here.
Theo the Extern, always a pleasure. Thanks to Brandon for putting up with my singing out in the lobby here. One of my friends, colleagues, and journalism students here. Tom Monfiletto for pushing the buttons and lifting weights and all the other fun things that he does here at BCB, and shaking his head at the insanity that I've created.
And to my dad and Robert for coming in, too. Thank you to them.
Yes, Robert and And Papa Blyweiss, yes, always appreciated. All right, we'll be back next week, provided I haven't been canceled for that awful singing performance here on Pro Wrestling Weekly. Stay tuned. Tom Monfiletto's next. He's got music.
1490 WBCB, Levittown, Fairless Hills, Trenton.